Lewis Hamilton calls for changes in Saudi Arabia as Formula One heads to country for second race. Lewis Hamilton has his say on Saudi Arabia human rights issues weeks after a mass execution in the country. It's not necessarily our responsibility that we're borrowed here, but we try and do what we can. Watch Saudi Arabian GP live on Sky Sports F1 this weekend. Lewis Hamilton says Formula One drivers are duty-bound to try and raise awareness of issues in Saudi Arabia and admits he is open to meeting those in authority to try and drive change in the country. F1 heads to Jeddah for the second race of the 2022 season this weekend, with the Saudi Arabian GP taking place weeks after the kingdom carried out 81 executions in a single day. Recommended 1/5. Lewis Hamilton wasn't expecting apology from FIA over Abu Dhabi as Mercedes say chapter closed. Read more. Recommended by human rights group Reprieve says there have been more executions in the lead up to the Grand Prix and criticized the sport for recently agreeing a long-term contract with Saudi Arabia to take a spot on the calendar. Red Bull explained Max Perez DNF's instant fix for Saudi? When to watch the Saudi Arabian GP on Sky Sports F1. Verstappen. Red Bull issues complicated, FIA report good to show. Hamilton, who said when F1 raced in the country for the first time last November that he was not comfortable, stressed that it was not up to the drivers to choose where to race but called for more changes. We don't decide where we go, and I think we're duty-bound to try and do what we can, Hamilton said on Friday before first practice. It's not necessarily our responsibility that we're brought here, but we try and do what we can, and I think it's important that we just try to educate. Ultimately, it's the responsibility of those in power to really make changes, and we're not really seeing any. So we need to see more. Hamilton also said his position is still the same as last year, when he hit out at the kingdom's human rights. There's not really a lot I can say that's going to make any difference, the 7-time world champion stated. It's obviously mind-blowing to hear I've heard that there's a letter being sent to me by a 14-year-old that's on death row. 14. You don't know what the hell you're doing in life. Hamilton may have been referring to a letter sent to him by Abdullah al-Hawiti, who as per The Guardian was arrested aged 14 and sentenced to death in 2019 when 17 years old. His family have pleaded with Hamilton to intervene. McLaren driver Daniel Ricciardo said drivers were aware of the issues in Saudi Arabia but expressed, "I think by coming here we also have a chance to create some change or have some positive influence as opposed to not coming here. I know F1's doing a lot. McLaren are also trying to inspire and create. I think there is a positive impact we can have by coming here. We're still trying to do more, do our best to create that and influence that in a better." F1 has shared positive updates from the Saudi Arabian GP promoter for this weekend, including that 40% of the Cornish circuits team are female and that 500 orphans and people with a disability have been invited to watch the race. Hamilton opened to speaking to those in authority. Hamilton was also asked whether he would be willing to go a step further in trying to create change by meeting those in authority. While Hamilton said it shouldn't be our responsibility to have to do that, he claimed he was open to doing so. It is, naturally, a very, very complex situation, he said. But I am always open to having a discussion, to learning more, to try to understand exactly why the kind of things that are happening here are happening. Why are they not changing? Because it's 2022, it's easy to make changes. I am open to doing it. I don't know who I'd have to speak to, exactly. I know that Boris Johnson, UK Prime Minister, has been over here recently. I am aware that human rights was raised, but I've not heard what was said, or what's being done.